Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Twitch Streaming Viking Edition. Welcome, guys. It's me, Hank. We're playing Valheim here, picking up our Let's Play recording session. We're streaming it on Twitch. I hope my audio's coming through well enough for everybody. Hi there. Checking it. Oh, God. I got to turn up. Hold on. Okay, that's got to go down. This has to go up. That's better. All right, there we go. Now I can hear myself think. Hi. Welcome. Friday night. Daylight savings time was last week, so that ruins everything. It's just weird that we do that. I get that it upsets people and that it messes people's clocks up. I haven't had a kind of life where an hour difference seems to make much of a noticeable impact when it usually hits, although I do understand why it can cause problems. How about we just a half hour one way and then a half hour the other way and then never do it again. Let's just split the difference and we're good. See? I should work for the United Nations, solving all their intramural disputes. Do they have like a student government there and where they get into fights and have cliques and stuff? Probably not. Sad week in the news. I'm not doing a bunch of news here. Big shooting. I've been honestly not paying very close attention to much of it all. Why did I mention that? Nothing to say about it. It's horrible. Racism is rampant and it's being encouraged by half the country. Probably the other half could probably do better in dealing with it as well. But anyway, okay, whatever. It sucks. It sucks that that kind of stuff happens here. And fuck, how annoying is it? I wasn't even planning on talking about that. I really haven't been paying close attention. Off Twitter, I check it like once or twice a week. If I catch a message on there, maybe I'll catch on there. But man, it's liberating. I still think about it a lot. I still think, I wonder what's going on Twitter every once in a while, because it used to be such a part of my daily screen diet, and getting away from it has definitely improved my ability to work on stuff and get things done and focus. And so I think someday I'll make a return, but for now I'm glad to be away from it. Most important thing this week I want to fill people in on, if you've paying attention, is James. He's doing okay. His surgery was Tuesday. He had major open heart surgery to repair or replace a valve, it was a tough day for me because I was scared and worried and didn't have any information. You don't get to pace back and forth outside the delivery room wondering if your kid's gonna be part moon person or something. I don't know why I think that's a risk. That sounded very 50s paranoid dad kind of thinking. Anyway, I drop him off and the poor bastard has to walk inside to the hospital to go have his chest ripped open, and a surgeon fucking sewing crap into his valves, into the tubes on his heart, and he's got to go do all that by himself. That sucks. And then I got to drive home. Before the pandemic and hopefully after, you'd sit around the hospital for a while. You'd memorize the order of the pretzels and the Doritos and the Lay's potato chips. You'd get annoyed by the other people in the waiting room. You'd wander around. You'd find a cafeteria. You'd find another cafeteria. Not these days. These days you just come right back here, you sit there, and you just stress. So I was very stressed on Tuesday, wondering how it was going. Didn't hear it all from anybody. I knew he was going to put my name as a contact. His family's on the other side of the country, and I'm going to be his ride home, and we're roommates, so I'm going to, if they needed me to bring them an extra pair of underoos or something. I'm not sure why that would come up during the surgery, but I was ready. I was going to swoop in like Batman on a grapple hook and just whoosh, and then just like put some underoos on the surgeon and get out of there. Nothing. You're just powerless and wondering. So I tracked down a phone number. Of course, it turned into one of those, okay, we'll call you back in 14 minutes. And then they call you back and you go, I'm trying to talk to somebody, nurse. Guy is in there getting his heart work done. And then they're like, all right, yeah, sure, here you go. And then it just goes right back to the, okay, would you like to make an appointment? If you're here about COVID, here's the people we're giving COVID to. It's just like, fuck. So I had to be persistent, found some different phone numbers, got in hold of a nurse. This is like 5 p.m. I dropped him off at 4:45 a.m. So we're talking about 12 hours of just going, oh, I hope he's okay. I just, and so finally I get the guy on the phone. He's like, oh yeah, James. It was a male nurse. It's a gendered occupation isn't it still, isn't it? Or maybe I'm outdated. But anyway, the guy was real cool, and he's like, yeah, he's good. He's okay. He's doing okay. He's fine. I was like, he's alive. And I started to cry. I was so relieved. I was so pent up. My tension. Because when I imagine, and over the day, you go, don't have the morbid thoughts, fuckface. What are you doing having the morbid thoughts? That's not doing anybody any good, especially you, or any, but nothing. Just all you're doing is torturing yourself with these fucking vivid, worst case scenario imaginings. But as the day goes on, I was staying really busy, keeping my mind occupied. I actually did a bunch of woodworking, and you can't, it becomes harder to push off those thoughts. And then so by the last few hours of until before I learned that he had survived, I was like, oh fuck, no, I'm gonna have to not fuck like this sucks, but more like my brain is, all this terrible stuff. It almost feels wrong to be saying it out loud here, and I'm not going to. It was so bad, but it makes the tension build up. And so finally I learned everything was okay. He was alive. The surgery he was just recovering. I'm sure he was pretty out of it after, massive open heart surgery. And I was just like, oh God, thank God. And it's just, I'm an emotional man. I carry my emotions pretty close. I have a powerful emotional reactor in me. It sucks, to be honest. It's pretty annoying. I think I would still have extremely powerful emotions if I pulled it back by like 20%, but it's a little bit on the too much. But the good side of that is it works for positive feelings too. Like I enjoy stuff. Not to say I'm better at enjoying. I feel more emotion than you, and I'm smiling. It's like that's not the case. But I just it hit me pretty hard. I was so relieved, and good. We should cry when we find out our friends survive major things like that, or when you have these. The chances of survival are very, very high, 99+% or something like that. But nevertheless, you're still like, God. I just hope this goes. You don't want it to be that unlucky tiny percentage, and so then you find out it's not some other person. That's morbid, but I was very happy to hear that. And I've been in touch with James a little bit. I know he's on some heavy drugs for pain, and he's dealing with some things, and they're keeping him a little bit longer. Although we never really had a set time that they were going to make him stay, but he'll be in there at least for another few more days. So he's a tough guy. He's putting up a fight. He's putting up. He's. I hope his heart's beating a little slower than before, because that was one of the things that they do, or that you're supposed to feel some symptom relief. But I don't even know if it's at that point yet. It might still be just a lot of pain. I mean, you just imagine his poor heart just had a lot of stuff happening inside there, and then they cracked it's all jeez. So, Book of James. This is the unholy tome, the tomiest of tomes or something. He's fighting to feel better, and he's by himself at a hospital. So much love and concern and hope, and we look forward to having him back on this show to talk about it, see how he's doing. So, all right, good. There we go. That's it. That's all I got to say. Butternickles in the chat. Hey there. Hi, Butternickles. Yep. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's good to know he's good. I haven't even published on SuckProfessor, the YouTube channel. I've got everything done through like public right now is like up through 34 episodes, but I still got a few more to schedule. But all the work is done as far as making the thumbnails and stuff. So bunch of time this week doing that. And all right, real quick, we're not going to play very long tonight. I think maybe like a couple hours probably. Just wanted to kind of check in, and I'm going to try for some longer ones this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. But I got to actually take a break after the first one to go stain some candle holders I'm making. This is so absurd. I've been busting my butt on I chopped up a 2x4 into pieces. You can't go bigger than a 2x4 unless you add wood to it. But if you so I turned a 2x4. Let's start with the opening shot. This is real professional. Here, just hold it up to the camera. How's that look? Right there. So that's a 2x4. Okay. That's what started. That became a pile of blocks. That became this. That's pretty fun. Boy, I sure hope I don't have any dick pics mixed in with these. It'd be weird if I paused during like woodworking to do that. The pile of blocks became. I put a bunch of holes in all of them. Oh, fuck. All right, orientation's goofy. Maybe that'll work. Now there are a whole bunch of candle holders. They're starting to take their shape. Their final form is emerging. Then I used chisels because chisels are quieter than loud machines, and I'm trying not to be too annoying with the neighbors and stuff. I turned a bunch of chisels into, well, here's a mid pile of all the chiseling, basically just removing material. I'm so bad. It's orientation's goofy, but like I know I can lock. That's locked. Okay, let's lock the screen. It's locked. There we go. Maybe that'll help. All right, so you get the idea. Seeing a big pile of chips and stuff. Those have now been. So I'm making a whole batch. I got 15 little ones and one bigger. Oh, here we go. This is a nice picture of them. Does it work? No, it wants to keep it like that. So like that's a nice little photo of the stack of piles. Making candles. This is all over this week. Here's another one. Is this working? Is this good? Is this good? I got a lot of pictures here. And then using a what's called a Shinzo rasp, which is like a Japanese tool that's like a whole bunch of saw blades weaved into a wide rasp. I was able to carve out, turn them into more of a shape like that, which should show up. That's starting to come together more like a candle holder. And now I've got, let's see. Yeah, here's a good picture because this shows sort of iterations. So one of them, the one closer is sanded and looking a lot better. There we go. All right. Okay, good. Hey, have you guys ever heard of a guy named Jesus? No. What if that was my thing? I'm the woodworking guy for kids' schools, but also the Jesus guy. No. So here's a bunch. I decided to just go ahead and finish 8 of them because I was losing my mind doing this many. Trying to decide what I should charge for these fucking things too. I'm thinking like 15 or 20 bucks, just in terms of doing the math in order for me to make roughly $25 an hour. But you can see the grains coming out, and they're starting to look really pretty. They're starting to take on their final kind of color, not color yet, but the shape and form. And they're really smooth. They feel fun to touch. So if you want to see the difference between these two, let me see how this is going to work. Okay. So there's that shot, and then there's. Did that work? Yeah. There's the. Oh god damn it. There you go. That's the one that I didn't do. Oh fuck. No. Okay. Okay. Almost done with this part, and then did some. This is my ugly flattening tile. That's what I use for sanding. Terrible shot. I know that didn't look like anything. So here's a bunch. Will it rotate? Okay, no. It won't. All right. So that's a whole bunch that I'm about to stain. So these are pretty much ready to be stained. There you go. And they're kind of cool. They're going to look really, really neat. So I cleaned them up with, I sanded them down to a 400 grit sandpaper and cleaned them up with mineral spirits, although I've never used mineral spirits before. And annoyingly, it's taking longer to dry than I expected. So that's otherwise I was going to have this done before we got started here. And then at that point, I'm going to see, actually, if you want to see this picture, the one in the corner there, I guess that would be screen right. Your right, I guess. Has a little bit of a dark smudgy bit. Kind of. That's the mineral spirits that's taken forever to dry. So I can't. I think I probably would be fine staining with the little bit of mineral spirits in there because you often mix mineral spirits with various kinds of stains to thin it, and it helps penetrate deeper. But I don't like having like the part with the wood where there is no mineral spirits anymore will absorb it at a slightly different rate potentially than where there is still mineral spirits. So just to avoid blotchiness, I think I'm going to deal without. So I'm being patient in order to not waste all this time. So yeah, there you go. How's that for some woodworking content before we jump into Valheim? That's fun. Butter Nichols says, what a trip from a 2x4 to 15 candle holders. Yeah, seriously, it's cool. I like, The before is just a piece of wood I've had sitting on the balcony for a few months. No, shit, a couple of years. We had some excess lumber from building a tortoise enclosure with a neighbor. And we bought a whole bunch of stuff. That job was it came out great, but I wound up with a lifetime permanent wrist injury from it and barely made any money. That one didn't really pan out. But anyway, the wood I'm converting now into stuff, and I'm thinking like, so that's a 48-inch board, and it turns into 15 small ones and then one bigger one. And so like I'm thinking if I want to charge $20 per each one. You can get candle holders a lot cheaper somewhere else, but there's fucking a lot of labor going into these things, and they look great. They're really, oh yeah, here. They're going to look like this, basically. This is a smaller version of kind of what inspired. This was also a piece of a 2x4. Beautiful grain. I don't know if it's going to have the same bicolor because this was a different piece, I think. I think they're both redwood. And, of course, I have a gash on this one because I dropped it. So that's a little annoying. And the hole's not totally centered. But this was an early idea kind of for what the ones I'm making are. The ones I'm making are a bit more rounded than that. I got a whole box here of shit. Candle holders and stuff that I've been making. These are just a whole bunch. There you go. This one's cool. This one has 3. It's reversible. You know, it's got 2 for one side, so you put it down on a table. Hurt my wrist. Like, do like that. Or if you want it, like that. And I carved like a nice little channel in there. That's neat. This one is a little slightly arousing, to be honest. It's also flippable. Let's see here. Here's one I made this week. This is a bigger piece of wood. Like working on smaller wood is annoying because it's harder to sand. It's just a little harder to hold down and clamp. So I like this style. I like a lot. This wood is pretty tough. It's a little harder to work with than the other things I'm making. So this has some gorgeous grain and some beautiful, contours, and they're kind of fun to just pick up and hold and stuff. So when I finally get around to putting a candle in one of them, it'll look like that, and then you can pay money, and I'll send you something. And, I'll send you what you buy. Finally, here's another one that I think is pretty cool. This just has a couple of different angles and shapes and colors, sort of. There's I don't know if this is true, because I'm hesitating to use the word, but I know that wood is, there's the heartwood, and then there's like the bark wood, and then there's the bark itself. So there's usually like some trees have different ratios of heartwood to non-heartwood. And I think that's what accounts for these like differentiations. So if you like the curve of the grain is going like this, which means that the center of the tree would be over here, right? If the curve of the grain is like that. So with the heartwood would be usually it's a darker colored wood on the inside. And every tree has its own characteristics, and that's one of the things I'd like to do is if I ever do professional like video woodworking guy stuff, is like profiles of trees and like learn and just trying to like help make educational, informational stuff about this fucking amazing organism that we live with. So there you go. I don't have to charge for any of this shit. I just know that it's not going to be whatever the fuck you buy at TJ Maxx or Cost Plus World Market. Okay, gonna have to. We'll see. That's what a market is to see what is the people who know about it willing to pay for it, and we'll find out. All right, how about that? That's fun. Thanks for putting up with all that. Butternickel says $20. Yeah, $20 seems pretty reasonable. Like you buy a T-shirt for $20 or $25, and I'm manufacturing wood products out of stuff on my balcony, and so you're getting. Yeah, I think $20 doesn't seem like a ridiculous amount. It'll come with a small candle, not electric ones, but these are electric. Although maybe I can make that a request thing, but I'll include a candle. They're not cheap, these votive. They're super cheap, the votive packs. So happy to include that in the package. And Butternickel says, I bet it feels good to actually make a tangible thing. It does. It feels great. Yeah. Here's one that's fun. This one is kind of cool. I like I'm waving it around. This is yeah, it feels nice, and these have they're pretty and they're neat. This one actually I think I fucked up. It's got dark. You can probably see the kind of ugly sort of darkened. That's the side of the wood. This was just off from a big piece of lumber I found on it by a dumpster. That's from a more exposed side of the wood that had absorbed grime or whatever. Something it was it was closer to the edge. So I should have been a little more careful about like removing this part of the material where this crap is. It's actually fine, and if anything, you could maybe make a case it adds to its origins as a piece of wood by a dumpster. So that's actually fine, and it's mostly on the bottom. There's a little bit on the front of this one. But still, like, this is a cool chunk of wood that you'd probably be able to, you know, put on a shelf or something, and then you can say, yeah, this podcast that does a new episode every 3 months built it. So, well, wonderful. Wow, 5 viewers. Holy shit. That's amazing. This is wonderful. I'm hoping James might be watching. I don't know if he is or not. I texted him. It's weird. It's like, you know, if he's sleeping, I don't want him to feel like he needs to wake up just to watch this fucking thing. But you know, let your heart heal, buddy. But also, if you're awake and you need something to do and you've got your phone, hasn't been stolen yet, then there you go. That's how men express affection. Military is just all affection guys. A big affection city over there. All right. How about we play a little bit of this damn game? Let's update the file to part 40. And I'm going to click on start. Getting my sound going. I'm not hearing both. Okay. Trying out a new little device that James was kind enough to already own when I told him about it. The buzzing, it's a little radio frequency interrupter. Hopefully, I think goes between. It connects to a sound thing. Because as you know, I've been having issues with buzzing, and honestly, I haven't noticed it yet. So been talking a bunch. Maybe I've been talking over it, but it's pretty noticeable when it happens. So. Here we go. As you guys know on Twitch, I'm not really going to be chatting much. Please let me know about... In fact, let me turn the volume... Oh, God, jeez. Let me turn... Hold on. This thing's bumping my hand. All right. Turn the volume up just a little bit. I think you should be able to hear the game. The cauldron is bubbling is the dominant sound right now. And, but yeah, this is a recording of our SuckProfessor Let's Play. So these will eventually all be online at youtube.com/SuckProfessor. So without further ado, in honor of our buddy, we're pulling for James. He's going to be great. That's all I can think about, honestly. I just care, you know, we'll see. Okay. I'm streaming a video game. That's I could probably do more. Wow, this roof design is terrible. All right, anyway, we'll get to it. And I'm going to update the SuckProfessor audience on James, too, since this part of the video won't be on SuckProfessor, so I'm sure they'll want to hear a little bit, too. All right, let's do it. Let's go. Here we go. Goodbye, Twitch. We're staying on Twitch. I'm not leaving. But now we're going to SuckProfessor content.